All right, if you've watched this channel for an extended period of time, you probably know that I'm very interested in linguistics. There is a term that has been used excessively, and I don't think that that's a coincidence. I think that it's been used on purpose to try to drive it up in the algo, so to speak. Constitutional crisis. Donald Trump is attacking the courts. Donald Trump is attacking the Constitution. Oh my God. Again, Orange Man bad, basically. There is no constitutional crisis. The fact is that the commander-in-chief is allowed to make decisions with regards to the U.S. military. So the transgender troop thing, he's going to come out on top on that particular issue. I have no doubt that that'll be the fact. With regards to other aspects of the Constitution, downing Biden's EOs and so forth, there's only one case in recent history that I know of where an executive order was explicitly blocked because it was trying to undo another executive order. By the way, the person blocked was Donald Trump. I don't think this is coincidental. The fact is that we have a separation of powers in the United States. Certain powers are given solely to Congress. Certain powers are given solely to the president, the executive branch. Certain powers are given solely to the judiciary. They are separate from one another, separate and co-equal. Well, at least that's what's supposed to happen. But the fact is that lately, you see judiciary lawfare against the Trump administration to try to prevent it from doing its job. In some cases, it is self-evident, transparently objective that Trump has the ability to do what he's trying to do. For example, he has been given clearance by a federal court with regards to border funding. Nonetheless, courts will try to block him from actually building the wall and putting up concertina wire and things like that. The Marines are at the border. There's a reason why crossings are relatively less now than they were some months ago. He self-evidently has the ability, for example, to fire people in the military and to dictate effectively the terms in which people will join the military. It's self-evident. I mean, it's not only constitutional, it's literally one of his major job roles. There is no constitutional crisis. The constitutional crisis would be the judiciary stepping in and constantly injuncting everything that Donald Trump does. That's the only crisis that I can see. There is no other constitutional crisis. But, like the description, again, archived of course, they're trying to make the case that Donald Trump somehow is the one that's erring from the law. But the Constitution and the law are pretty self-evident. It doesn't really require interpretation in any meaningful sense because it's in plain language. The Constitution itself, I mean, not additional legislation at least, is written in plain English, not legalese. It's like the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's pretty self-evident. The government may ignore that at various times and has for over 100 years, but the basic meaning of it, the premise, the meaning behind that spell, so to speak, is, pretty easily interpreted. It doesn't require a judge to come out and give their opinion on it. It's pretty plain. It's pretty clear exactly what that means. It's very explicit. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. You can't get more explicit than that. And the same is true with presidential powers in general. The president can pass or veto a bill. The president can conduct diplomacy. The president has jurisdiction over the border as per federal court order under national security. The president has the right to lead the military and is the commander-in-chief. Where's the constitutional crisis? What has Trump done specifically that errs from this in any way? Well, there is nothing. The fact is that the liberals are simply using the courts to try to slow him down. And again, the meaning is quite clear. They're not trying to stop him. because they can't stop him. They know that in the end, the courts will side generally with Donald Trump, actually, including liberal justices. And if they don't, it'll just go to the Supreme Court anyway, and it won't mean anything. What they're trying to do is slow him down before the midterms. Their entire strategy boils down to trying to prevent him from doing meaningful things before the midterms so that they can then retake the legislature. That's the only thing that they're doing right now. We see that here. There is no constitutional crisis. When I see that term used over and over and over again, therefore, by the legacy media, by liberal pundits, by paid DNC shills like Sisson, who we have to talk about separately later because he's got some problems going on, but I'm slightly sympathetic, and so forth. When I see it used by all of these people and unipartyists in general, elected officials, I have to assume that it's astroturfed. When you get, for example, 5 or 6 legacy media outlets releasing an article that is worded almost exactly the same at almost exactly the same time, they didn't have time to even copy one another's homework. So there had to be some central organization now, didn't there? You would have to have that. It's impossible for them all to concoct effectively the same article in such a short span of time. Not unless it doesn't go before the board of editors. It would be impossible. It wouldn't be physically possible for them to release the same article over and over again over the span of a single hour or something like that. When I see the same linguistic term being, in this case, misused over and over again, in a very short period of time, I can only imagine that they're trying to astroturf it. That's the only explanation that I can think of. There's no way that it's organic. I mean, come on, dude. There's, yeah, you all decided to use the same term at exactly the same time in the course of a couple of days. No, I don't think so. I have a feeling that it's more like some central authority decided to give you that idea. So some PSYOP agent said, hey, this is a hard-hitting term. I'll use it in your articles today. We'll override the algorithms and stuff like that and astroturf it to the top. That's what's happening. It happens all the time. I see it all the time. It's just that people that don't understand linguistics may not notice. That's the whole point. They're trying to fool you. What constitutional crisis? You mean the attacks on the Constitution by the Biden administration, where equal protection under the law was overridden, or they attempted to override it on several different occasions by giving aid to restaurants during the lockdowners period or farmers based on their race? Yeah, that was an attack on the Constitution. Absolutely. It's a constitutional crisis. Or the attacks on the Second Amendment, the right to privacy, the right to free speech, the censorship regime, which Biden oversaw. That was the constitutional crisis. We don't currently have one. If Donald Trump decides to jump shark and starts doing weird shit, I will be the first person to call him out. So far, generally speaking, he's doing a good job. And better than his first term, by the way. Constitutional crisis were the attacks on the Constitution by the prior administration. But I notice this particular terminology didn't really enter the lexicon of the legacy media until a few weeks ago. Ever since then, it's blown up. Oh, constitutional, do we have a constitutional crisis? Hey, our constitutional crisis under Donald J. Trump, Orange Man Bad, and stuff like that. It's rather formulaic. That's about all. Peace out.